All right. All right. Look, peep game. Peep game. All right. Peep game. We got a lot to go through. This is going to be a lot of information. All right. There's a whole lot for me to say. You feel what I'm saying? But it needs to be said. So we're going to go ahead and jump on down in it. You understand me? Now, there was a time when going viral meant you caught something, a sickness, a warning, something spreading without your permission. Now, in this current culture, it means something totally different. Now it means opportunity. Now it means an escape. Now it means a shot. For a lot of black creators, virality doesn't just feel like fame, excuse me, like fame. It feels like having access. It feels like a way out. It feels like proof that the door might finally open. So when a post doesn't move, it doesn't just feel like silence. It feels like being passed over once again because history, or better yet, I say his story, taught us something. If they don't see you, they don't pay you. If they don't hear you, they don't value you. And what makes most people, or better yet, what most people don't realize is that this pressure is being engineered. Now, psychologists for a long time have known that behavior is shaped less by intention and more by environment. If you change the environment, you change the person. All right. So the systems are built on unpredictables, likes, views, engagement spikes, hearts, and shit like that, right? What that does is conditions the brain the same way casinos do. That's not hustle. That's it's operant conditioning. And for people who've always had to be twice as loud to be half as heard, that conditioning sinks deep. So, that being said, welcome to the prescription. And tonight's condition is this: when visibility becomes mistaken for survival, especially in a culture that has always had to fight to be seen. This is the show. This is the prescription. This is what you really motherfucking need. And without further ado, let's get into the show. But first, we gotta peep this cold ass intro. I'm the Trill Pill. Welcome to my world, the prescription. Let's get it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Welcome motherfucking back to the prescription, man. The number one show you never motherfucking heard of, but now you know what the fuck is going on. You understand me? And for today, for right now, what we doing right here is something that's very special. The things that we're talking about are not as popular as most of us would want them to be. But that being said, who gives a fuck? We gonna do what the fuck we wanna do. You understand what I'm talking about? And there's a certain group of people that I'm targeting with my message. You know what I'm saying? I only speak the truth. I only try to bend society in ways that um, make sense for people who think like me, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, shit like that. It's a certain things that I have on my, have on my plate, have on my scale, have on my mind that I think about from time to time. You understand what I'm saying? So for today's prescription, as you can see on the screen, on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, on your TV, wherever, on whatever Black Mirror that you use, get viral or die trying. Get viral or die trying. Now, Black culture has always been an engine. You feel me? Music, style, language, humor, movement, politics. The culture moves the world, but the ownership rarely follows. Now, the algorithm just made that extraction faster. You understand what I'm saying? What you're inside of, what me, you, and everybody else around us, what we are inside of isn't just a platform, it's an engineered ecosystem, a psychological climate. Now, psychology psychology says that behavior is shaped by the person and the environment. And this environment selects for certain kinds of humans and certain kinds of Black expression. Fast, emotionally intense, conflict driven, highly simplified. Not because that's who we are, but because that's what maximizes engagement. Now, research on emotional arousal shows anger and fear and shock to spread faster than calm, nuance, and or complexity. So the system quietly teaches which versions of Blackness are are most profitable, right? Let me give me some water. We got a lot to we got a lot to go home. We got a lot to go home. I'm gonna let that breathe for just a moment. We ain't even I got parched early. Anyway, um fast, emotionally intense, conflict driven, highly simplified. Not because that's who we are, but because that's what maximizes engagement. So the research on emotional arousal shows anger, fear, and shock spread faster than calm, nuance, or complexity. So the system quietly teaches which versions of Blackness are most profitable. Depth from Black thinkers gets buried, nuance gets slowed, complexity gets labeled for too long. Ain't nobody want to hear all that motherfucking shit. That's what they be saying, niggas like me. Nobody want to hear all that shit. Ain't nobody give a fuck about all that shit that you talking about, trill pills. Nobody want to. I don't want to be lectured to. I don't want to be taught nothing. It's a whole bunch of this world is being controlled by back of the classroom ass niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And but they'll stay online for hours and hours upon days, months and years with bullshit. It's interesting. Some say the attention span. I'd rather say what they spend their attention on. If it's bullshit, they'll be on it all day because it doesn't require thinking. But when you're teaching someone, when you're speaking about someone, when you are presenting a thought or something like that, niggas be having low tolerance for shit like that. All right. It's unfortunate, but the system doesn't have to silence us. It just it teaches us what version of us sells, what's most profitable. Now, chronic performance environments train the nervous system to stay on alert. And that's why there's that low grade emergency in Black creative spaces. Post more. Say it louder. Don't disappear. Don't let them forget you. Keep my name in the algorithm. That's not just grind culture. That's historical survival logic colliding with algorithmic pressure. You're not just competing for attention, you're competing against invisibility again and again and again, right? So this is this is when identity becomes a performance organ, right? Black identity has always been shaped up under surveillance, from code switching to respectability politics to being told how to act to be accepted. Now the algorithm becomes the new overseer. And at first, it looks like optimization, but the brain doesn't just optimize the content, it optimizes the identity. Now, psychology calls for the psychology calls this contingent self-worth, when your value becomes tied to external feedback, not who you are, but who gets rewarded. I'm gonna say that again. Psychology calls this contingent self-worth, when your value becomes tied to external feedback, not who you are, who gets rewarded. I'm gonna do a Mike Jones. I said, gotta say it 3 times. I said, psychology calls this contingent self-worth, when your value becomes tied to external feedback, not who you are, who gets rewarded. So the self splits right down the middle. There's who you really are, and there's the version of you that performs. We see this every single day. Better yet, I give you an example to make this hit a little harder so you think I want to be grabbing this shot at the air. Charleston White. If you hear Charleston White talks, if you hear him talk, he'll say, "Oh, that's just the character. The real me does this for the babies." Then you'll hear niggas adapt that type of style. Like, "Oh, that ain't the real me. This is just the character." Which leaves niggas to decide, damn, do I gotta decide whether he in character mode or is he in real, you know what I'm saying? That's strange to me. Even though I'm in this content space, I don't have a character I jump in. You know what I'm saying? I'm jumping into the goddamn trail mode when I fucking get up. I'm in this mode when I'm on the Xbox. I'm in this mode whether I'm outside, at work, grocery store. It don't matter. This is just me, right? Um, Fortunately for me, I grew up around people who didn't allow me to be any other way. So growing up in that, I'm deeply ingrained in that, and I don't have to come off of being there because I'm already up under the mindset of either you fuck with me or you don't. I'm fine either way, but this is who I am. And I'm not going to be performing to see when I tried. We're gonna have a side note, then we jump right back into it, right? When I tried to be performative, when I tried to change myself, I always got bit in the ass multiple times. I always crashed multiple times. I always flamed out multiple times when I was trying to change my ways for this job, or change my ways for this woman, or what I'm saying? It just didn't work out. And the reason why it didn't work out because it wasn't authentic. You understand what I'm saying? So the self splits. That's who you really are, and there's the version of you that performs. These are all things that we go through in life, especially right now in the digital age, because you have an extra fingerprint attached to you, and that's your digital fingerprint. It's not just you showing up people's faces, it's people will, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just how it is now. This is this is an engineered space that we are all in, that we didn't know we were gonna be in. We thought social media is gonna be the greatest shit since sliced bread, and for the most part, it kind of is, but it kind of ain't too. It's a double-edged sword. The internet in a whole is a double-edged sword. All of it, right? But that's who you really are versus the version of you that you the version of you that is performative, because attention feels like life inside these systems. The performance gains power. The attention is the currency inside these systems. These systems don't care about like how much of a great human being that you are. It only cares about how much attention can you draw, so they can slap these ad dollars behind you. This system doesn't have any soul. This system doesn't have any feeling. This system doesn't have. This system is not human. So the system that's not human is making you perform just to get some attention. And your whole digital, like especially with this shit content, this content shit is it's a weird space. It's a weird space because on one hand, like you do want to draw the attention. Like I would love for this to be a, right off the bat. And maybe if I was talking down on niggas and talking shit about niggas and saying I'm gonna whoop this nigga, or I'm gonna slap that nigga, or I'm gonna, you know, talk about this nigga dead people, or just be off the hinge with it. Maybe this should be worldwide right now, or on this way. But because I choose not to do that, I knew from the very beginning that this road is gonna be like I have to chop it down. This is the less traveled path. Like the grass still grows over here. It ain't no trail for me to follow where to go to get popping, or to get this shit where I want it to go. I understand that I'm gonna have to chop this shit down. I'm gonna have to grab my machete and goddamn chop this shit down as I'm walking. I don't know what's lying off in the grass to get me. I don't know what's peeping behind. I don't know. We'll handle it when we get there, but I'm prepared for whatever it takes. You understand what I'm saying? I'm prepared for whatever it takes. Anything jumps out unnecessary, I'm putting belt to ass to it, point blank. You feel me? So pain becomes the product, the anger becomes strategy, and the trauma, it becomes a hook. Not because black folks love pain, but because historically, black pain has always been profitable to someone else. I always, black trauma, black pain is a billion, probably $1 trillion business. But we don't profit from it. Not even the music, not even the soundtrack to our pain. Some of the best music, some of the best content is made out of pain, trauma, things of that nature. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. A lot of time we don't even profit from that. But The research on virality shows high arousal emotions spread farther. So the system quietly trains people to become louder versions of themselves. Now, over time, the question changes from who am I becoming to what version of me gets fed. The silence stops feeling peaceful and it starts to feel like disappearance. That's not that is not it's not ego. That's dependency built on history plus technology. The machine just doesn't like this machine doesn't just distribute black identity. It filters it, it shapes it, and it rewards the parts that fit its appetite. So the real rebellion in black creativity has never just been loud, but it's always been deep. Blues wasn't optimized. Jazz wasn't viral. Gospel wasn't clickable. Hip hop didn't start as content. All of these things started as community. Psychology and neuroscience agree that creativity, long-term thinking, and meaning it it basically requires nervous system safety, not constant performance. So the slowness isn't weakness in our culture, it's tradition. It's how craft get passed down. It's how soul gets built. It's how mastery survives generations. The quiet rebellion is environmental. It's rebuilding black spaces, digital and physical, where identity doesn't have to perform to survive. Long arcs instead of viral moments, having ownership instead of exposure, community instead of clicks, legacy instead of likes. That's not anti tech, it's anti extraction. It's moving from being harvested to cultivating our own ground again. You understand? Everything that we built was based off community. That's one thing I miss now, right? Is community. When I was growing up in South Dallas, we had real neighbors. Shout out to Miss Brenda. Shout out to Miss Emma. Rest in peace, Miss Christine, who lived across the street. You feel what I'm saying? Go over there, borrow a cup of sugar. You feel what I'm saying? Come over, borrow some cornmeal. Hey, you got some cornmeal? You know, look out for each other. You feel me? Hold down that little corner. You feel me? That little corner of Pine Street was a community. Even going down the street, walking down Reed Lane, going to the park. Just because you don't see nobody don't mean that it don't mean nobody watching you. Let something happen to you and let you do something you ain't supposed to be doing. Boy, that news gonna reach home faster. When you get there, it's gonna be belt to ass. You feel me? Community. I missed that. Being younger, like we didn't really understand how much that shit meant to us and how safe it kept us. Yeah, it couldn't protect us from, from everything, but damn, them elders was watching out for us because that's what they were built on. Community, helping out each other. They wasn't worried about what's going on outside around the corner across town. If you look out for me, I'm gonna look out for you. You hold it down for me, I'm gonna hold it down for you. Say they're looking for somewhere, so let me be okay. Yeah, yeah. Let them come over here, hide out. You know what I'm saying? Lay low, play slow. You feel me? Keep this shit going. Like I said, man, like I I missed it. And in this digital age, it's weird because for those of us who were used to that, that's just how you are. And you realize you get a rude awakening that damn, this world don't give a fuck no more. It just don't. It just don't. This world doesn't give a fuck no more about nothing. Not space, not community. So it's up to us, platforms like mine and a few others, to try to rebuild that sense of community. That's my plan, right? I don't really give a fuck about a lot of this shit. I need to build community. Maybe that way, man, maybe that way we'll be able to shift some of the shit back in our favor. You know, it's weird nowadays. It's weird. And a lot of these niggas don't understand, like, nigga, you being pimped out. You being controlled by these likes and views. These likes and views is making you do some whole shit. Like when you're subject to be performative for these likes and clicks and views, you're also subject to do some whole shit. That's why you see a lot of these niggas gossiping like they do. I've never seen so many niggas, they got the motherfucking tea. All these niggas got the tea. All these niggas got the tea. Why do you have the tea, my nigga? Like, it's thousands of things to talk about, but you got the tea because it's profitable. It's profitable to be messy. It's profitable to talk down on another. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's profitable. It's profitable. It's profitable. So if being real was profitable, then maybe these niggas would be real. Maybe being real to these niggas wouldn't be as performative as it is. Like, everybody doesn't operate through a character. I don't have no character. This is just me. Either you like it or you don't. But if you fuck with me, I'm a great person to fuck with. You feel what I'm saying? Because I just feel like, because I am the way I am, I don't have a great. I mean, I know a lot of people, but I just don't. I don't talk to a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. I just don't do a lot of shit. So if I fuck with you, I really fuck with you, and I care about you. You understand what I'm saying? So niggas lost a sense of community. Somewhere along the line, we got sucked into this wave of distraction and low level nigga shit. That's what it is. So I'm gonna keep it honest. Low level nigga shit. Like the last show, I talked about drawing parallels from Neil Postman and Erica Badu about being entertained to death. Some of you niggas are going to be entertained to death. You ain't trying to learn shit. You ain't trying to build shit. You're just going to be entertained to death. And if you're okay with that, cool. But so few of us is not just okay and just accepting this shit. That's why the ones who know have we have to lock in with each other and band in with each other. We got to. We spread out. We spread out and we got to find our own tribe. We got to find our way back home to how this shit used to be. Where it used to be about community. It used to be about loyalty. Now, to bring this all together, nobody tells you when survival becomes a lifestyle. For Black folks, survival has always been a part of the story. Now it just wears a digital face. And at first, you're trying to be seen, and then you're trying to stay relevant, and then you're trying not to disappear. That's not vanity, that's history meeting algorithms. That tragedy, the tragedy isn't that we want to be known, right? That's human. The tragedy in all this is that these systems keep teaching Black creators that being unseen means being unvalued. So now people perform for proof of existence. They edit themselves for access. They trade depth for reach. They trade ownership for exposure. Not because we don't know better, but because the environment makes survival feel urgent. But Black culture has always outlived the systems that tried to use it. Slavery didn't kill it. Segregation didn't kill it. Exploitation didn't kill it either. The algorithm won't either. Get viral or die trying is a lie dressed up as um opportunity. Get viral or die trying is a lie dressed up as opportunity. You know? So closing words is this. Don't die chasing visibility. Live building something they can't take from you. Virality is rented. Black identity is owned. Black culture is owned. And legacy can't be scrolled past. That's all I got. There will be a Substack attached to this. If you're not following the Substack, I suggest you go follow the Substack. I'm gonna put this up right here. The prescription on Substack. Take your phone, take your cellular device, get where that QR code at the top right hand corner. Gonna take you right to the prescription and my Substack. If you think this is great, shit, I pimp the pen even greater. You feel what I'm saying? Well, it's less pen pimping, it's more finger typing, but you understand what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? So this was a great episode. Like I said, I'm not gonna be here for a long time. I'm gonna try my best to shorten these episodes so I can kind of get more out, make these things more punchier, where they hit more. You can listen to this shit like you just watched, watch an episode of Jamie Foxx show. You feel what I'm saying? 35 minutes, hit you here. You feel what I'm saying? And dip out. Something you can take with you and spread to your people, And let's build this shit, man. Everything at the bottom, go ahead and do that. Trill Pill on Instagram, Trill Pill on Kick, Trill Pill on Twitch, Trill Pill 1 on Twitch. Support the platform. You feel what I'm saying? Support the message. You understand what I'm saying? Build the community. Cash App, $ monumental. I'll put the Venmo and all that other shit down there real soon. Oh, actually, the Venmo is down there. Venmo at the Trill Pill, or trillworldorder1@gmail.com. When you want to support the show, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button, and make sure that you peep game. You understand what I'm saying? This is the prescription. I'm your host, the Trill Pill, and I'm gone. I'll see you for the next episode, man. We out of here. Hold it down, goddamn. Mind your mental to be monumental, right? Mind your mental to be monumental. Stay trill and heal, and most of all, stay mentally true. I'm gone, man.